Hello, welcome to Simply Liminal. My name is Stacy. This is my daily two-card reading for Wednesday, July 17th, 2024. So 717, this is one of those numbers that I just kind of like. My birthday is in July. It's at the end of the month, but I do like sevens. Obviously, my birthday is in July, so a 7 is important to me. But so we have 717 today. I don't know why, but that number stands out to me as very important. So this Oracle deck, the artwork is by Linda Olson, and the deck was written by Karen Kay. We have worked with it before. This deck is actually on loan to me this week from my mom, so thank you, Mom, for sharing this deck with us. I actually gifted my mom this deck for many reasons, but I consider her a mermaid in my life, and I found this deck and I gifted it to her, and I have found such deep insight with it, and she's been kind enough to loan it to me a couple times for readings on this channel. So the author says that she has a deep lifelong connection to mermaids and that she feels like they are elemental guardians of the sea. She says that mermaids dwell in the water, and water is connected to emotions. Sometimes emotions can run very deep, just like the sea. So there's beautiful messages in these cards. I'm telling you, she writes and channels through gorgeous information for us. So, I always work with a candle for my readings. This week I'm working with this candle. It's different than the one I normally use. Really, I've had it burning for a while, mostly because I just love the scent of it. But it's in a kind of lightish blue jar, and as it melts, it's getting more deep and more mystical, which is how the water can sometimes be. Water is amazing how it changes color depending on the light on it or the depth under it. So just really things to be aware of when talking about water energy. So let's take a look at our card reading for today. This is the last day that we're working with this deck this week, so it's been fun. And also we're getting sort of to the tail end of Cancer season, so it just seemed very fitting to use this deck now. Leo season's coming. I'm a Leo, so we got this next week's readings will divide Cancer season and Leo season. That's just how it's going to be. I'm not even sure what deck I'm going to use yet, but I know when the time comes, which I need to make a decision because that's tomorrow, that it'll be the right deck for the messages that need to come through. So for this channel, for this two-card readings, I always pull two cards. The first card is the energy card, which is the force that's directed towards us from the universe, from the world, from our environment around us. And then the focus card is our intention, effort, or response that we put into that energy. Kind of in that way, that is how we co-create with spirit. I also just want to mention, I love liminal spaces. It was one of the reasons that I named my card channel, my reading channel, Simply Liminal, because I think that these messages are a lot more simple than we think, but these liminal spaces, that is where we get these messages. So liminal spaces are in between spaces, basically transition spaces, doorways, gateways, pathways, areas where you are on a transition from one area into the next. The dusk and the dawn are two of my favorite liminal spaces. The dusk, in the evening dusk, is my favorite time to be outside. As we transition from the daytime into night, it is gorgeous to be involved in that liminal space. Water is also a very liminal space. It's different, obviously, than our above the ground environment, but when you're in the water, you are in a liminal space. Not when you're completely submerged, because then you are completely in a different world under the water. But when you're in the water, you know, you're half in the water, half above ground, and you are involved in a liminal space. And so water is one of those deeply transformative and emotional and intuitive, I'm trying to think of the right word that I'm using. It's just one of those methods or ways that we can find messages coming through to us in the water, by taking a swim, but even by taking a shower. You know, you're very much in that liminal space of the two worlds at that time. So let's take a look at what our last message is from this card deck this week. We've had some really interesting messages, so I encourage you to go back and check them out. You will also see just the deeply gorgeous artwork in this deck. But so, energy. And then our focus card. Focus. There we go. I wasn't sure if I was saying that to myself or the cards. Anyway, so here we go. Last reading this week with this deck. So, our energy card is Mystery. Boy, that really, I'll hold this up so you can see this a little bit better. But we have a mermaid here. She is in the deep water. I'm not sure if it's dark out or not, but she's in deep enough water that everything looks dark around her. Yet there is a little bit of light shining above her. So this also makes me think of maybe the night sky kind of water. Very mysterious. I'm just going to bring my candle back over for a second, and I'm shocked at how much the purpley color here mirrors this candle right now. This candle, before you light it, is a pretty light blue. So it's interesting how it changes as it burns. And I love the smell of it. So that's why it's just been burning for me while I'm working on these readings. I just help get myself in the right space. But so Mystery, we have the energy of mystery coming around. So yesterday's message was really about change and discernment and thinking about something big was coming in. And today we're getting mystery, which is pretty interesting and right in line with that. Also, we just have this lovely number of 717 today. So reading from the guidebook. The mystery message says, embrace the wonderful embrace the wonderful mystery of life. Some things can't be known and are better left mysterious. And mystery is alluring and enticing. So this mermaid comes to share the importance of a mystery. She wants you to know that there's no need to demystify things. Do you know someone who is always trying to find explanations, analyzing and examining everything? I'm just going to pause and say that's me. If I have a question, I got to look it up. I got to get an answer. I think. My mind goes all the time. So this feels like this mermaid is pointing her finger right at me. Like, this is you. Anyway, maybe this is you. Yep. I'm back to the book now. Sometimes just accepting the magic of life is what's called for instead of trying to decipher it all. The mystery of life is beautiful and magical, and magic exists in the mystery. Okay? If this card appears next to the love card, then this applies to a loving romantic relationship. It's also possible that the mysterious guise of a mask someone is using to hide something from you or those around them. If you feel that this is the case, don't become an amateur detective. Instead, ask poignant questions and see how they respond. Notice if they become guarded or open. Does someone appear mysterious to you? Are they trying to lure you in? Perhaps you could take a tip from them and become more mysterious yourself, rather than laying everything out on the table, so to speak. Allow your inner workings and mysteries to be unraveled over time as you get to know someone, rather than telling and sharing everything from the first meeting. So I don't know which of those things stood out to you. This reading is going to affect us all very differently, but overall, our message is mystery. Whether we want to just allow and bring it in, or if we want to hold ourselves back and just allow ourselves to enjoy the unknown mystery around us. So let's take a look at our focus card. Maybe that will help us understand. But she's got just a very direct gaze, doesn't she? Let me get in here a little bit brighter. I know it's hard with the lighting. I'm trying to let you see it, but well, there, I'll just focus right on her face with my ring light. She is just directly gazing and kind of calling us out. Sorry about that little weirdness into my lighting situation. So let's take a look at our focus card and see how we're going to work with this today. Gentleness. This is so really interesting. My mom and I, at the beginning of the week, she loaned this deck to me and I was borrowing it. We did a 1-card reading for ourselves. And both of the cards now that we pulled came up. Hers was Acceptance card, which came up several days ago. And mine was the Gentleness card. And this is one of the few mermen that are in this deck. But it's a gorgeous picture. Also, this is a darker color. So I'm just going to bring my candle back over here and show you how deeply this is going together, or seems to go together. Like, how gorgeous is this whole color arrangement? Like, was meant to me. But I also paid attention to the one torch that this merman is holding, because torches are a very special message or a sign to me of things. So, but let's read from the Gentleness card really quickly. I will say that for the month of July, I have been doing other card readings, and one of the symbols related to those card readings is a torch. So that energy is here. It's with us. It's remained, I feel like, in my life. I've seen this coming or felt it from the summer solstice episode. So anyway, let me read the gentleness message to you. It says, be gentle towards yourselves and others at this time. Being harsh or using brute strength will not benefit you. There is a great strength in gentleness. This merman says that looks can be deceptive and gentleness can be found in the most unlikely people and situations. If in doubt, just look into the heart of a problem, for this is where the source of true gentleness resides. The merman holds his torch of truth so that it may illuminate your path of gentleness for you. Is someone around you in need of gentleness? Sometimes we feel the need to be tough and navigate certain situations, yet with gentleness comes flexibility. And this means that we bend and we don't break. So this alone is a message worth pondering. And that might be the thing that needs to call into your life. But I want to mention this one line here one more time. This merman holds his torch of truth so that it may illuminate the path of gentleness for you. So we have mystery coming at us. And mysteries can be never known or solved, but they can also resolve themselves slowly. But know that his light is related to the torch of truth guiding us on the way. So there is a mystery about today. Be gentle about it, whatever it is. Do not be aggressive. Do not poke at it. Just allow it to unfold on its own, and it will. And allow yourself to be guided gently with the light ahead of you. So this reading went a little bit longer, but this is one of those really deep messages. We've had a couple days where I've been like, oh, this is so deep. I don't know that I'm gonna understand exactly what this means in my life. I hope I can clearly direct other people to know how it's going to work in their life. But sometimes there is just mystery involved, and we need to allow it to work out and allow ourselves to be gentle in the process. So I hope you've liked this reading. I hope you connected with it in some way. This is the last day of this that we're working with this reading for this week. So again, this is the Messages from the Mermaids deck by Karen K. She has a couple other decks out there in the world. I do not have them, but it is on my list of decks to get. I think the other ones deal with fairy or the fae that are in our lives. So know that those are out there if you're interested. Again, my name is Stacy. Thank you for visiting Simply Liminal with me. I am so grateful for this card deck that my mom loaned me this week, and for the messages that it brought through to us and the messages that these mermaids helped bring into our lives. So thank you and have a blessed day. I will see you tomorrow with a brand new deck and brand new messages. Bye.